Hello everybody and welcome back for more Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. In this episode, we are going to start the very first adult dungeon in this game. So let's take our hookshot and our most beloved hookshot and somehow get on top of the tree that everyone's supposed to do, and then we'll go into here. And welcome to the Forest Temple. And, yep, there's these two wolfos that you're gonna... I haven't really seen those for a while. Yeah, and so, even though I had my Master Sword and I wasn't able to one-shot those wolfos, because, like, I still remember just, like, going by the, go to the Sacred Forest Meadow, and the first encounter of the wolfos, I somehow was able to one-shot that one wolfos with the with a Kokiri sword as a child, and you know, not the dagger stick, as with the Kokiri sword. I don't know if I ever jump slashed or if I just used a regular slash, but just somehow I just one shot it. Like somehow Link just got this beefy power some to it. I don't know. But anyways, so yeah, so the Forest Temple. It's yeah, like I said, it's the very first adult dungeon. And unlike previous dungeons in this game, this one will actually be this will actually be a little more similar to the previous dungeons from from Zelda, or from the previous Zelda games rather. Let's get this gold Skulltula here. There's gonna be like several gold Skulltulas in this dungeon that that we're gonna be getting. So I would just hopefully that I remember where they are, because I know I did say that I'm gonna be going after every single one of the gold Skulltulas. Alright, so first thing we're going to do, just go over this tree and then open this chest, and we have a small key. So yes, Ocarina of Time actually does bring back the small keys, because we thought they were going to take those away, like, back in the child dungeons, because, you know, how previous Zelda games had their use of the, well, they had the whole key system. Those small keys and the boss key. And so, if you're wondering, like, where they've gone to for the previous dungeons and as Child Link, well, starting with the Forest Temple, or at least for all the other adult dungeons, and they actually do bring back the key system from previous games. So yeah, there's that. So it's gone back to the regular, more complex dungeons, because I always felt like that the child dungeons were kind of more like I don't know, simpler dungeons, I would say. Makes sense. So. And what are these four doing? Those four ghosts. What's all these ghosts? This place is haunted. And yeah, those are called the Post Sisters. We will be fighting those four in order to progress, but not this episode though. That's gonna be like a little later. But they're hiding out in some kind of in some other rooms. So anyways, so yeah, the Forest Temple, well, I mean, it's kind of, well, I guess you could say forest theme, but it's also kind of like a ghostly themed, I would say, because there's like a ghost everywhere. And oh, speaking of which, this guy right here, these are, okay, I didn't think the camera's just gonna pan like that. These are the blue bubbles. Now, unlike previously, where you know how the bubbles would previously, you know, jinx you, so that their Link wouldn't be able to use a sword or any of his other weapons. I think that was kind of a thing in Zelda 1, and I think they also appear Link to the Past, I don't remember. But in this game, they don't jinx you at all, so so you don't have to worry about that. And these are a couple of new enemies right here. Treated as mini bosses, even though they're regular books. These are, at long last, we finally met the Stalfos, and Stalfos have they've been given an arsenal here in this game, because unlike in other games, like I would say Link to the Past, I don't know if they did the same in Zelda 1. Actually, Zelda 1, I think they did have swords, if I remember correctly. I don't know, it's been a long time, so it's hard for me to remember much, but yeah, not only are the Stalfos carrying swords again, but they have upgraded armor to them. They also have shields and some more stylish clothing here, because they were just completely skeletal. But yeah, Stalfos in Link to the Past, they will always try to jump away from you if you try to slash them with your sword. But no, in this one, they actually are much more refined in combat, and so they will whoop your ass. Actually, as you see, how much health that's been taken away from me. So yeah, they can strike at you. They can also do the jump slash like Link could ever do. And so that's what you want to be careful for. And if you try to if you try to hit them, they'll try to use their shield to block off the sword. So yeah, they've got so much better in their arsenal. But once they drop their guard, once you see an opening, then that's when you can just slash at them with your sword. And so that's basically what it is about the Stalfos. But going back to the bit with the bubbles, well, like that blue bubble. There's actually there are about like two ways you can kill them. You can actually use your you can either use your shield to to get rid of that blue flame, and then they'll start hopping around, and they can take about 2 hits, or you can actually just one-shot them with a jump slash. The other kind of method I would most recommend you do, it's actually probably the best method I would say, is use the Deku Nuts to stun them. Stun completely, and then use a jump slash, so there you can one-shot them. It's so much better like that, and I would definitely recommend it, so that's one thing I just prefer to use. You know, so I gotta say, I do like how this game is still giving Adult Link Deku Sticks, even though he can't use Deku Sticks. Because they're completely useless as Adult Link. Yeah, this game is still giving them anyway. I mean, if it's for later use when we go back to being a child, then I guess that's something I kind of for. I don't know. I kind of want to kill these Skull Wall Tulips first because they'll try to come after you. But unfortunately, the hookshot can't really reach to that. It was still a good item, though. But I will say, one thing I love most about the hookshot is that, spoilers, later on in the game, we will be getting an upgrade to the hookshot to where it'll get a longer distance. And, oh, I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be in the, the dungeon after the next dungeon. Yeah, that dungeon. Ugh. Anyways, and also, speaking of, I don't think I've ever mentioned this, though, but, well, I think it's pretty much obvious at this point. After you, after the sequence where you pull out the Master Sword, and then you, and then when we get to the part where we're now Adult Link, because, Sheik is, blocking the, blocking the pedestal, we can't really, we can't really go back to Shadow Link at the moment. We're stuck with Adult Link until, well, that'll be until after we, clear this dungeon first, and then we'll just, see, well, I would say see them again. For now, I'm just gonna refer to Sheik as a them, because, well, you know, I mean, well, okay, you know, at this point, I'm sure so many of you have already played Super Smash Bros. Melee at this point, where Sheik was playable, and so it's really not so much just a spoiler anymore. But well, yeah, I'm gonna stop myself there because we'll get to that. But you know, but yeah, at the moment, we won't be able to go back to Child Link for now because we're stuck in we're stuck in the adult body. But that's gonna be like till after we clear this dungeon first, or at least any one of those dungeons for that matter. So, anyways, so yeah, so basically, you know, what I think about the Forest Temple. I would say though, like, I actually kind of do like the Forest Temple. Not exactly my most favorite, I would say. Well, I mean, there's also like a much later dungeon I would say is my most favorite, but the Forest Temple, I actually kind of like the Forest Temple though. It's I do think it's a very well designed dungeon, and you know, it's a very interesting because like you know, it's I mean, you know. It does look pretty for one thing, especially for some of the areas, because you know, being all forest themed and all that. It's very mysterious, kind of gloomy, or kind of gloomy to boot, because you know it's supposed to be haunted. It's kind of like a haunted mansion, stuff like that. And I'll say like one thing I gotta say about the music though. Now I mean you know I really do love Ocarina of Time soundtrack, and especially with you know the dungeons being very ambient and just very really fits the atmosphere. The Forest Temple's music, I would say, and I mean, I like the one part of it where it's like, where it sounds all soothing, because, like, it just sounds good at that. But then we get to the second part where, I think, yeah, you're hearing it now, like, yeah, you're listening. Yeah, this is actually the one part that gets very annoying, because, like, you just hear these, weird voices, these weird vocals coming in, like some kind of laughing kind of thing. It's very chilling, and it's very annoying at that as well. And, now, I can no longer unhear the Super Game Brothers when they clipped over the Pennywise laugh from that. God damn, I'm hearing it now. And when I'm referring to Pennywise, I'm talking about the Tim Curry's Pennywise from that movie, not the 2017 one. But yeah, overall, I do like the Forest Temple. It's I do think it's well designed. It's a very you know, it's it can be pretty easy to navigate as long as you know what you're doing. It's nothing too complex, I would say. I mean, granted though, it is a sort of the adult dungeon, so this is where things get a little more complex. But you know, as long as you know where you're going, then I mean, it's not too bad. And it is ghost themed as well because actually, as a matter of fact, I've been thinking about this for so long. Like when I think the Forest Temple, I always think Luigi's Mansion because it does give off Luigi's Mansion vibes. Even though this game came out before that game, though. Because basically, we're in here not only to get to tell the monsters to fuck off from Kokiri Forest, but Also look for Saria, because we found out that Saria is somehow in the Forest Temple because of some bad shit was going on, and so she might have been captured, and for all we know, she's probably trapped in one of those paintings that we'll probably see later. It's very much like Luigi's Mansion, I would say, because of it, like the whole plotline of it, with Mario getting trapped in one of the paintings, which actually is kind of harsher in hindsight in Mario 64. And so Luigi has to go into a mansion that's infested with ghosts. So yeah, the Forest Temple is kind of like that. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe Luigi's Mansion took inspiration from it. Maybe, I don't know. That's probably my best guess. And so after Navi was pointing out the painfully fucking obvious, as she likes to do, you see those arrows painted on the floor. It's basically like where it shows or where to push those blocks. And there was also another block that I was trying to look around for, and then it turns out there's that lighthouse right there. It was just kind of in my blind spot. So I was actually looking for that other block just right there, because we're gonna want to push that over first. I was gonna say though, something actually just came to my mind. So yeah, it is also kind of a ghostly theme, but I will also say this though, is that from what I remember, like I saw clips of the Master Quest version of the game, because like there's also a lone Redead that's just like somehow placed in there, because like from what I know, the Master Quest version seems to love placing Redeads all over, as if it's just just crank out the nightmare fuel here. As a matter of fact, though, I actually, because I know, this game does have, well, not in the N64 version specifically, it's just a normal mode, but yeah, there is a Master Quest mode that actually does exist, but that's only going to be, that only gets released in the GameCube port of this game, because like it's part of the collection of the Zelda games for the GameCube. Like it had Zelda 1, Zelda 2, and then it had Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. And I believe that collection also has the Master Quest version of this game. And basically, what it is that it's considered to be the harder difficulty of this game, because like there's like because not only is there some collectibles like maybe some things that are actually relocated, but like the dungeons get a lot more difficult. Like especially with the well even with the Deku Tree, and so, it gets even harder, it gets more challenging, and more enemies are placed, especially those Redeads. And so, oh yeah, there's a little twist quarter. Actually, there's one thing I do want to talk about once we get to that room. So, once you exit out of this twisted hallway, yeah, Navi will say, watch over the shadows of monsters that hang over the ceiling. She's referring to the Wall Masters. And yeah, Wall Masters are back in this game. And they are even more terrifying, I would say, because you want to watch out for how the Wall Masters are, because like when you're in that room, you'll see that big shadow that's looming over Link, and then they will try to drop down and grab you. And then when that happens, then you'll just be teleported back over to where you were previously in that room, and that scared the living shit out of me when I was a kid. I screamed after that happened, just got out of my chair and ran. Oh god, that was fucking terrifying, I would say. What is it with this game in the sense of jump to 3D just make things even more terrifying than previously? I don't get that. And we also got more Stalfos kill. Be careful not to go over this platform. Somehow that Stalfos was just like walking over the platform, like just airwalking, you fucking cheater. But you will fall through this through that hole there. But thankfully this platform right down. Now, these Stalfos, you're going to want to be quick about those, because once you kill one of them, they'll just drop their bones down and not disappear. And so when that happens, you want to hurry and kill the other Stalfos that's there before they get back up and you have to start this whole thing all over again. So yeah, make sure you be quick about it. Just immediately slash the Stalfos once you see an opening, because that's basically what I was trying to do as well. And then there we have it. And I do believe we should have the dungeon item pretty soon. Well, after this chest here. So, also, I just noticed that this chest is floating in midair. If you just see it closely, it's a levitating chest, probably because of the programming error on the platform. So anyway, and we have a fairy bow. So yes, this will be our replacement slingshot, because we couldn't use a slingshot. We can only use it as a kid. But yes, this will replace the slingshot as an adult. And, it's yeah, the bow and arrow. Oh man, I do love the bow and arrow as well, because you know, it's a stronger variant because it's very much like the same attack power as the Master Sword. But now, at long last, we have or Donley now has a projectile on us. Well, even though you could argue the hookshot is kind of that as well, but we have like a legit projectile with us, replacing the fairy slingshot. So yeah, now with that, we can be able to hit some ice witches that we couldn't be able to do so before as an adult, and yeah, teleport back there. I could have used Forward's Wind to get back over to that twisted hallway, but I forgot to do that, so so I had to just hit my way back over there. And once you hit that ice switch, then the twisted hallway will go back to being it'll go straight. So yeah, back to what I was saying about the Master Quest version. Yeah, it's a much harder difficulty with more enemies placed, and even with Deku Tree, it does get this difficulty spike. The 3DS version also does retain the Master Quest version, only this time it actually decides to go the Wii version of Twilight Princess route and completely mirror the whole game, where it's all flipped. And that's actually where it gets even more obnoxious about it as well. So it gets more complicated. Ooh, look at this fancy chest. It's pretty colorful. Well, actually, if I were to tell from opening this fancy-looking chest right here, we'll see what it is pretty soon. And so, returning from the previous Zelda games, it's the boss key. And so, yes, for that, as the name implies, we can be able to get to the room where the boss's lair, or where the boss chamber is. And normally, you can only get this boss key in like towards the tail end of the dungeons, but in this dungeon, strangely, they actually decided to give us a boss key pretty early. So yeah, that's kind of weird, but convenient at the same time. So I appreciate that kind of aspect. But yeah, the 3DS version of Ocarina of Time, but with the Master Quest, yeah, they completely mirror it, just like Twilight Princess for the Wii, and because of that, they rank up the difficulty up to 11, and so so yeah, it gets more it gets much more obnoxious and complicated as a result. I probably would like to actually try my hand at the Master Quest version, but only like a solo on the GameCube. And if you guys are interested, like I know I have been thinking for a long time about like doing some live streams like on Twitch, because I know I did have a Twitch channel at some point, but I kind of abandoned it, and so I want to actually want to use open up another Twitch channel under the AcedTyler moniker. And so, so that way there I can be able to do those streams, because I did say that. Oh yeah, by the way, these are the Floor Masters. So Floor Masters, they are very annoying as well, because like after you strike it, they'll split into 3 copies, and you want to quickly use the spin attack to kill all 3 of them, because they'll just reform, and then they'll go back to the regular Wall Masters. They can grab you as well, so you want to have any button to escape, but they can also drain your health as well, so you want to hurry with that. But anyway, so yeah, I have been thinking for a long time about, like, you know, first I did want to stream the Super Mario 64 DS, and I was also thinking that if you guys are interested in that once I have my Twitch, well, after that, then if you guys are interested, I was also thinking of actually doing a live stream of the 3DS version of Ocarina of Time, but only doing the Master Quest version. So if you're interested in me doing trying my hand at the you know, doing a live stream of the Master Quest version of the of Ocarina of Time 3D, then you know. Let me know in the comments, so, you know, if those of you just viewing this video, and yeah, I just use Forward's Wind, but it's actually useless because I'm not really in a chamber, so it's gone, but no, if you're interested, then, you know, I'd be perfectly willing to live stream the Master Quest, or live stream the 3DS version of Ocarina of Time and do the Master Quest version, so that way you can just see my reactions, and because I like to torture myself as well, so if you're interested, let me know, so. Anyways, I believe that should be it for this video. So next time on Let's Play Ocarina of Time, we are going to continue on the Forest Temple and hopefully get through and see what happens next. So until then, see you guys then.